In one word, I would describe Shaka as unassuming.
Intelligent.
He's a humble guy.
Awesome.
You know, it's hard to describe Shaka in one word, but if I had to, I would go with trailblazer.
Shaka's empathy is one attribute I will never forget. I lost my mom 5 months after joining VOA. Her death was sudden and heart-wrenching. My mother and I are very close. And at the time, I didn't know Shaka very well. But moments after an email was sent out about my loss, Shaka came over to my office with a check of $100 and told me he knows I may have to travel for my mom's funeral to have some sort of closure, and asked me to stop by his office if I needed more help. I cannot adequately describe that moment, but my colleagues and I know Shaka has been a trusted brother.
You know, I always love the fact that he's actually a really down-to-earth person, and he loves to go to local places. You'd be surprised where you'd find him at his best. It's not the five-star restaurants. It's just a little home restaurant where the food is good, the ambience is right, and people can just interact with him without any barriers, and he entertains them so freely and so casually. So that's always been a pleasure for me to really watch and see that, you know, big as he is, he's really, at the end of the day, just this Kabali kid who just likes to, you know, to be at home wherever he is.
There were many historical events that took place on the continent in the last 15 years, and as I covered some of them, Shaka and I would have conversations, and his ability to deconstruct some of these events while providing historical context to these moments often impressed me.
His inquisitiveness, his unsparing questioning of his guests. I appreciate when he respectfully goes after people and elicits good comments. He has some provocative questions, but he's always respectful, treats people professionally.
One thing that reminds me every time when I hear the name Shaka Ssali is what he told me when I came to VOA. He told me, my friend, be authentic and original. Don't try to sound like someone else. If you do that, you are going to be a big disappointment to your audience. And that I took from him with a lot of care, and it has helped me a lot. He told me he's 40 years in the United States. He still speaks like he came from Uganda yesterday.
Shaka is on point every single time you speak to him on a professional level. I mean, I've always admired the fact that, you know, I always joke with him about how he's got this instant recall. You might think you're just interacting with him socially. The next thing you know, you're learning something professionally.
He's such a wealth of knowledge. I would call him an ultimate encyclopedia of contemporary African political philosophy.
I wish that Shaka will accomplish all of his dreams, continue to mentor young people, and have a full and productive life as he retires from VOA studios in Washington, D.C., where thousands of viewers have tuned in every Wednesday for 2 decades to watch Straight Talk Africa from Uganda's Kavala Kid.
His story is an inspiration to many people, including myself. My wish to him is to go and open a center, a foundation in his name to continue the good work.
I want to wish him this whole continent, world, to be his Straight Talk Africa.
I hope that you're able to apply all of the same intellect and energy that you've shown on your show to other pursuits. Godspeed.
So Shaka, I'm happy to say that the African hope is very much alive. And this is not a farewell to you. This is to new beginnings, to the next phase of your journey.